And now, the award-winning Simply Youth Ministry podcast with Doug Fields and friends.
Hey everybody, Doug Fields here with Josh and Matt and Jana and our all new, we've taken 2 months off.
You have a microphone, you don't need to shout.
Oh, listen, Mr. Squawker.
A squawk is different than a shout. It's like a sneeze. It's an involuntary action.
Well, anyway, we got
all new show.
All new show.
No,
all
your
new show.
squawking is just any time you open your mouth.
Oh.
It feels a lot like the same show,
Starting
Doug.
now.
I don't know.
This is an all new show?
No, it's all new in that we
all new cast.
We've been away for a couple months.
It's still hot in here.
I actually forgot about the podcast. I forgot that we did it.
No.
Well, you know
Totally.
what? We should have been. That would have been our exit strategy.
Yeah, we only would have known.
Yeah,
we
if we only read our emails that tell people, oh, we don't like Matt. No, just kidding. Everybody loves you, Matt.
Yeah,
we haven't been together in a couple months, and we thought
You saying that doesn't keep me on.
we would put something together that would be different. So we just changed the seating.
Here we go. Jana's over there.
Changed the seating, and then, oh yeah, that was it, and just switched everybody around.
Yep.
We kind of rotated clockwise, actually.
Yeah.
Speaking of clockwise, Simple Youth Ministry, the clock emblem, is made out of paper clips.
There was a new catalog out, Matt, of
Yeah.
our Simply Youth Ministry. We were laughing about it before the show. Before the show started, Matt got so excited about something, he took his vitamin water and he spilled it all over the place. And then as it was spilling, it looked like he went to spill it some more to shake it around. And then he was so quick to jump up and help. Oh, wait. No, he wasn't. That was somebody else. But the very first picture of this new catalog is me and Kathy at Matt's high school graduation back in 1991.
Look at me with I've got a gold medal
I was
around
going
my
to say,
neck.
what is that
Wow,
for?
were you
Where's that medal from?
valedictorian?
Do you remember?
That was from, no, it was not the smartest. I wasn't anywhere close.
Was it the
but
biggest
you did have to
graduate?
actually go to class, which Jana didn't do that, so she didn't get one of those.
Probably.
You didn't get a medal?
Nope.
I don't know what it's for.
Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome if Jana was in the background of this shot, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like,
Who's that lady?
I don't know,
She's
but I think Kathy was
gigantic.
pregnant there. When was Cody born? Cody was born September 91. Yeah, so she'd have been pregnant in that.
It's a sharp-looking catalog.
Thank you. And Nadine, people can get the catalog if they're on our mailing list.
They're on our mailing list, or they can go to simplyministry.com, click request a catalog.
Request a catalog.
And
Yeah,
we'll
or you can
hand
just look at the
address one and
website.
send it out
Well,
to you.
here's the other thing is that we need to, in the first couple minutes here, we need to welcome back the people that have been listening, what we like to call our extended
Family?
staff.
Team?
Well, here's what...
Friends. Really, it's Doug Fields
And friends.
All of us
Wow,
are really.
my blog's not listed on the blog network.
Mine's not either. Look up.
No,
look
it's
at the
right
board.
here. More Than
Oh,
Dodgeball.
sweet.
It's the first
This
one.
is the first good. It's where it belongs.
And then all the Twitters, it's got everybody but me.
Wait, you're not
Seriously,
even on the
does
Twitter?
that have you on the
It
Twitter?
doesn't have me on the Twitter.
Have you
Man.
disengaged?
Oh, I think I've been shoved out to sea.
Well, we're going to talk
I
to
think I've been
Brazelton about
jettisoned.
that. Andy Brazelton is not here, but
I've
this
been
does have the
redeployed.
Youth Ministry blog network, More Than Dodgeball, Simply Insider, Simply Kurt, which is a junior high, married to a youth
Dude.
pastor, College Ministry Thoughts, YouthMinistryGeek.com, Simply Youth Worship, and Simply Urban,
Wow.
All
Ministry.
garbage compared to Hokeman.com.
which is much better than More Than Dodgeball.
Yeah. I think you have to actually update your blog in
Yeah, I
order to
think
get it
that-
listed.
I don't get any more questions.
Well, here, take this one.
Okay.
There you go. First question.
Hey, you forgot we had a
Did
podcast.
you get a new printer?
New ink, same printer.
New ink. Same.
New
But
ink.
I have been Twittering every day, Jana.
He's
I
on
have
Twitter.
kept
It's
it
been
up.
fun.
I have kept it
Your
up.
vacation Twitters were fun. Your camp Twitters. You're a good Twitter.
I
Well,
would like
thank
to
you.
see him be a little bit funnier. More
Well,
entertaining.
like in the last week, Matt's kind of got. If you follow Matt on Twitter,
Weak.
yeah, week as in
Lifetime.
WEAK, because his Twitter's like you can tell he's kind of turned the corner and went, you know what, I'm going to do less about what I'm doing and more I'm going to become that quippy, really funny, outrageous guy. A crazy youth worker.
Crazy youth worker McGill.
When have I not been that?
Oh, goodness.
Well, I
Sports
read
instructional.
I read
youth
one from
pastor.
Misha, Matt's wife, the other
She had
day,
a good one.
and it was so funny. I said that is way better than
Yeah.
any that Matt has done. So
I did 3 in a row the other day, and then I saw Kurt Johnston, our simplyjuniorhigh.com person, and he's like, man, it seems like you're in kind of a bad mood today. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm in a great mood. He's like, well, just your 3 Twitters.
Well, you did 3 before 8 o'clock in the morning.
3.
And
Well,
they
they
were
all
all
just
like,
came to me. Inspiration came like lightning, and so, and then like an hour later, he's
Verbal
like, "Well,
clarity,
I do have
inspiration.
facial hair, and you kind of made fun of people with facial hair." And I go, "Yeah, that's true. Don't take it
Yeah.
personal."
It's hard not to take your Twitter.
Well, Josh
personal.
Twitters.
It's hard.
I
not to
Twitter.
take it
Matt
personal.
Twitters. Jana?
nope.
You're never
Why
going to do
not?
it.
You
She
don't
only
blog, you
Twitters
don't
only to
Twitter.
her husband. It's
You know
it's
what?
a closed Twitter account.
Some people just aren't ready to be
Picture.
microbloggers.
It's not for everybody.
No.
I mean,
No,
So
it
when
took
is
me-
Fields going
took
to get his
me-
Plurk account?
yeah, or Voom.
Yep.
I made that up.
Yeah. Well, let's do
Probably
this. Let's
exists.
before we jump into the questions, let's just catch up a little bit on what's
All right.
been happening in the 2 months that we have been gone.
Oh, let's just do questions.
Josh, why don't you?
Oh gosh, catch up.
Here we go.
What's
We
been
had
going
our
on?
Purpose-Driven Youth Ministry Student Leadership Conference, which was a blast.
In July.
Had fun with that
Awesome.
in July.
That's personal.
Went to camp in August, and then just got back from an 8-day family vacation this 2 days ago, actually.
4
So,
kids trapped in a car.
4 kids trapped in a car for 2,200 miles round trip.
They're so excited. I
They
saw
were.
Austin and him the day before they left,
Yeah.
and he was outside washing his car or something like that, and I took his. He swung through Wiener Schnitzel and bought 2 corn dogs to
yep.
take home, and I took the sticks out of them, and I told Austin, "Don't tell him." And I took the sticks out and threw them. And Austin, he could not keep a secret.
It was the best ever. He thought you were the coolest guy in the world because you messed with my corn dogs. It was awesome.
That's never been
Wow.
said.
Yeah, there you go. There it is.
So vacation
we had a
for-
blast. It was great. 4 days on the road, 4 days with my family. We went to Wyoming, which is always a wonderful time.
Exciting spot.
Slow pace of life, and it was great. We had a blast.
And Matt asked you a little bit earlier about how your mom's palm reading business.
She's doing good. She's a witch doctor, and I found out that my gallbladder or pancreas, what's the one that processes sugar, whichever one it is,
Liver.
is a little, I don't know.
No, it's
I'm
not
going to
your
say
liver.
pancreas.
Out of
Greater?
whack?
Is a little bit too overworked. So everything
So
else
it means you
in my body was good except for my pancreas. So she said.
And
I
did
need
she
to have a
get
little
that
less
from
sugar.
looking deep into your eyes?
Yeah, she
No,
touched
deep
the
into his
soles of my
hands.
feet and saw into my
Oh,
skin.
How did she know?
So
got
she
a-
did that,
she's got a thing that looks at the
withdraw
energy.
thing? Seriously.
She
She
has
has a thing that does energy in your hand.
This is true. You put your hand on this little
Ah.
device, and it tells you what's wrong in your body.
It
it's
reads your aura.
unbelievable. So she said that if I don't
Well,
take
if you
it-
believe it.
right,
I
right.
mean,
It's like
So-
Harry Potter.
But if you have like a skin rash and put your hand on there, it'll tell you have a skin rash. If you have
That stuff's totally legit.
swollen lymph node, it will tell you that you have. It's ridiculous.
That stuff, like, remember that lady you went to, the oculosis? She looked inside your eye
Yeah,
and told
that's
you
it.
all these things that you've never even knew about
Yeah.
yourself. And
She said I had a receding hairline. And I was a little out of shape. I went to the cardiologist last week.
I
and-
was going to ask
And
you
he
about
said,
it.
he said
You
you should
did?
lose. He said you should lose 10 pounds. And I said, gosh, I was thinking about I need to lose 25. He goes, me too. I was just being nice.
that's awesome.
Oh.
And then
So the
yeah.
diet starts September 1st.
Yeah, so I had salmon today for lunch and had a Vita shake for breakfast. So I'm I'm easily 1 day into a less sugar diet.
That's great.
Look out,
Congratulations. Yep.
Ah,
Yep.
Look out.
Josh showed up to a 9 o'clock meeting this morning. Jana and I had been at an 8 o'clock meeting. Josh shows up at the 9 o'clock meeting and he starts talking like, so, and I hadn't seen him because he's been on vacation. I thought he was by like 9:30 still talking that way. His eyes are beginning to open. I said, are you getting a cold or
Well-
you just wake up? He goes, no, I just woke up.
Oh, I came back from vacation, had a full day of work, then we had an end of summer bonfire last night with the high school students, which was
Yeah.
awesome. It was awesome. And then we were up till midnight, got up at 8 for your
Yeah.
meeting. So,
Yeah. So I'm glad you're feeling good.
feeling great.
Good.
Feeling great. Just needed to have an extra day of vacation. You know,
All
you
right.
need a vacation from your vacation
Yeah,
kind of thing.
and now that we're back,
on that.
should we let our 3 or 4 people that listen, should we let them know that you're open for some shirts?
Free shirts?
Yeah.
Yeah. Think
Double
1XL. Soon to be 1XL.
Great, send the XLs.
Yeah, send the 2XLs. Yeah, so I got a new shirt in the mail. I have two packages out there to open too. I didn't
Yeah.
open them yet, but
Oh.
I'm very excited about that. So thanks for
Are
sending me
you
your
talking
shirts.
about you
So
getting
did
free
yeah?
things?
Did
Yeah.
you guys officially take your clothing budget out of your family budget?
Yeah, it no longer. Yeah, we now
Can
apply
I tell
it
you
to
one of my favorite moments in the podcast? What show are we? 84
84
was
yeah.
when you two guys weren't here. No offense, but
I-
when
I've told
that
the story like 50
I know, I
times.
just love it. It's a good story's worth retelling.
Yeah, too.
When when the iPod came from Michael W. Smith, and
hurt so
just
bad.
Josh's face. I got to get that. I got to find out what episode that was.
I'm still iPod
and I need
free.
to go look at your face on that one.
I don't have an
You
iPod
were-
right
you
now.
were so green with envy.
I
right there.
still am.
Yeah.
Why
Matt,
don't
really
you have
quick,
an iPod,
really
though?
quick, what have you done with your iPod since then? That brand new sweet
Yeah, where is
the
it?
Michael
Video
W.
Nano.
Smith one?
Yeah.
Lost it?
Yeah, where is it?
Where,
I
honestly.
watched the Michael W. Smith trailers,
Okay.
and then I gave it to one of my kids on some trip, and I don't remember which kid or which trip.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, that's my summer. There's my two
All right,
2 months.
welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Matt. You got a new child that you've adopted, Miller.
Yeah, a little cutie.
Last 2 months have been very exciting. Went for a hike.
Okay, you got to
tried
read the
to go
hike story on the
Seriously,
I
blog.
gotta go-
it's a
I
little
got-
wordy, but it's kind of worth reading.
It's not wordy.
Go
Ugh.
to Hokma,
There's
HOKMA.com.
pictures. You and your husband, if it's longer than 2 sentences.
Well,
That's because they're
but we're giving you
microbloggers.
some time, and you
That's
know
right.
what?
No, man,
That's
I
too
read
much.
it and thought, aside from the typos, it was excellent.
It was brilliant.
There's
Yeah.
typos?
Grammar. I'm not a grammar guy.
Seriously,
Yeah.
typos.
Um,
I
so
need a
you
special
took a hike.
plug-in for WordPress. Can we look into that? That does grammar. That would be awesome.
You adopted a baby. You got a hiking story.
and
you
I
got a water
adopted a
ski
baby.
story,
And I water ski.
and all of it is on Hokma, HOKMA.com.
the greatest blog in the universe.
And there is a
Yeah, you vouch for
blog
that.
dedicated just to questions on this show called Much Better Than More Than Dodgeball.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause More Than Dodgeball is Josh's
Yeah.
blog.
And his is much better.
Then More Than
Much
Dodgeball.
Mine's updated and fresh and new.
And so
But
Miller
yours
was
is better.
adopted.
Right.
Miller's cute baby. Looks like an old man.
I think he looks like a gargoyle.
Really?
Yeah.
Thought he looked like a 100-year-old man. He's really cute.
Yeah. No, he's a cross between a gargoyle and a rat.
Really.
But cute. The cutest little rat goyle you've ever seen in your life.
Can you say that because he's not
He's such a
biologically
penis.
yours? Or would you say that about all of your children?
Oh,
Yes.
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 I know,
No,
I just wanted him to say something about his
Yeah.
kids.
No, this is the cutest baby that's been in the McGill family.
Yeah.
I mean, now they're all adorable. But
Yeah. No, I don't know.
I'm just
Max
kidding.
might have been cutest.
no,
That's
Morgan.
a good. That's
Morgan.
Morgan.
It's a good
Morgan.
summer.
Yeah.
Cute,
Morgan.
chubby.
stinking
Miller,
cute.
though, he's just this little.
I know. Jana,
He's tiny.
I know. he's so
you're
cute.
pregnant again?
No.
No.
Congratulations. We're so happy for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great rumors. Great
No
Are
wonder
you
I
just
thought
saying
she
she's
was-
large?
No,
Oh.
wasn't saying that.
Yeah, I
at
think
all.
you
His
were.
heart doctor said you need to lose 10 pounds. It's weird.
25, really.
Your mom called.
I'm off call. Put a note on my refrigerator.
So you, number 4 on the way.
No,
That's
no.
awesome.
No, that's a rumor. That's a rumor.
Yeah.
Jana leaves Sunday
For
Australia.
Australia.
So we have one time back, and then
Wow.
it'll
And
have
then
to
we're-
be the three of us.
Yeah.
Should we? You know what? Let's have a write-in for. Let's do that. Write-in for a guest. We've had
Okay.
Jake.
Okay.
Have we had Jeff McGuire?
Kurt?
We haven't had Jeff McGuire. No.
Jeff McGuire.
We had Kurt on
It's
a
hard,
really
it's
early
hard to
show.
write in. It's hard to write in Jeff if you've never heard him before. We could have Kurt.
Yeah.
We could have Megan Hutchinson.
Megan Hutchinson, Life
I almost
Works
said
on Wheels.
make fun of her, Hutchinson.
We could have Andy.
Could have Andy. Andy's home
Should we
today.
disqualify him though? Because I feel like our audience might skew a little Andy heavy. Would you
Yeah,
say
Seriously.
they
okay?
totally will. They like him because
Okay, Andy's off limits now.
No,
I'm
that's
doing a poll. Jake, Kurt.
Jake,
Oh, wow,
Kurt,
live poll.
Megan, or Andy for the live poll.
Or Tori.
Or Tori.
Tori.
She's away at college
I was
though.
gonna say,
She
can
could
we
come
bring
back.
her- Bring her back.
We'll get rid of
Yeah,
it.
she's
Yeah.
not going to
or
class.
Kathy. You can put Kathy on there.
Kathy would be good.
Kathy on
What
there.
about
What happened
Miller?
here to-
We get Miller here.
What happened to your marriage podcast? Have you
My
been doing-
marriage? My marriage is
What
fine.
happened to your marriage? Podcast.
What happened to your marriage?
Well, the marriage podcast kind of took time off, much like this
Oh,
podcast.
yeah.
So, but now that school starts next week, Kathy and I are on it, and we're going to do the podcast too. All right.
Too easy.
Oh, man. We don't speak like this in the adult ministries world.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of the
You're
future
here to
of the
represent
church,
senior pastors now and
the future
executive
of the
pastors.
church.
That's right.
When Barack Obama and John McCain were at Saddleback, I was on stage with Pastor Rick, just
Yes.
within like a few feet of him.
Yep.
You were in the audience, Josh.
Row R.
Jana was.
Well, you spend
nursing
so
her
much time
fifth
kissing
kid.
Rick's butt. Of course you would be up
Yeah.
there.
And where were you?
I was at a wedding.
You were at a
being
wedding.
a good friend.
You didn't
Did you get
go.
invited to that wedding?
No, I didn't even get him. I don't even know who got married.
Ooh. Yes, you
I didn't
do
even know
know
the
who
guy.
got married.
Yep.
Oh man,
I didn't get about it
hurts
either.
to have friends, doesn't it?
You wouldn't know. Or I wouldn't know.
Where were
I
you,
don't know.
Dan? Were you there? Were you at the
I was
a Brock?
nursing a child.
Cool. Your fourth child?
Yes.
All right.
Simply Youth Ministry has been cranking in the midst. They've got like 300 new products out.
Did we hear about your summer?
Little 99 thoughts for college life. Who am I? Helping students embrace their spiritual identity.
That is his.
That is his summer.
That is his summer.
All right.
No, my summer.
We
my
heard
summer,
by Twitter.
There's
Yeah.
some very subtle
I'm
messaging
I'm a
happening
big,
here.
I'm a big Twitter guy. I don't know if you know that.
So you don't
I
need to
do.
actually.
Twitter.com/Doug Fields.
You don't have to even actually say about your summer because everyone would know about it through Twitter.
Well,
That's
not
right.
everyone.
Well,
Just-
you should.
Yeah, I
Just
was
go
at
to
Lake
Twitter.
Oconee in Atlanta. I took Cody and a bunch of his boyfriends on a guy's
Wait
trip.
a minute.
Mm-hmm. Just let it go.
Preached student leadership conference.
Yes.
That was my summer.
Refinery.
Refinery opening,
That was
volleyball
a
camp,
huge part of the
football
summer.
2 days.
Taught this past weekend at HSM.
Honestly, when Josh was out
Thank
of town,
you
I
for
taught.
that.
That was very fun. Honestly, I don't want my kids to know this, but I'm kind of looking forward to school getting back in, only because it just creates a little rhythm in our life, because we have teenagers in my house every single night till like midnight.
You want a rhythm? What are you talking about? You love chaos.
You know what?
Captain.
I've had 3 months of it. I'm ready for a little rhythm.
There you go. You ought to
He always
ask
said he
Matt.
needs
You're getting old.
He's gonna work
That's
it off his
unbelievable.
Expo
That's
someday.
no question whatsoever. But I'm very excited about the podcast, and
Me too.
people have said, "Hey, you guys have missed for so long. People will have stopped listening." And my response was, "Doesn't
So
really matter.
what?
Right.
Doesn't really matter. We could either be doing this.
Yeah.
We could either be eating food and then going out to
Oh.
lunch, the four of us,
Oh, why aren't we doing that?
because we
That-
started
Yeah,
two
I
now.
wouldn't have to
instead-
Oh,
censor
yeah.
myself if we did that.
Yeah, you
Oh.
don't censor.
Wait, so where there's no
censor
food.
so heavily.
All right.
Well, this is in this new format of us changing seats. We have our first poem.
Should we,
Our
tell,
first what?
should we tell everybody that I got in trouble? Or is that too...
Oh.
We
What
really
did you get in
can't.
trouble
What?
for?
I don't know if we should tell
You
this.
can't really talk about the specifics,
Let's-
but I
let's-
definitely got a hand slap.
Let's put
For
it this
what?
way. No. More
Here?
than a hand slap.
Oh yeah,
A
well,
severe reprimand.
yes.
No, we shouldn't talk about it.
Should we talk about the?
I kind of want to hear it afterwards then, because this
Well, we
is
can talk about
gold.
it afterwards. I just think because
Yeah, we can't talk about the details. 'cause
it
it's
involved
not-
elders within our church.
Wait, can we talk about the email that Rick Warren sent out to everybody on our staff with you doing the?
The video.
that
Oh,
was
that
funny.
was so funny.
And Matt has the time
It was
to
not
edit
really
that
that
video
funny.
and send it out to.
No, the video itself wasn't that funny.
We should put the video on your blog.
Put
Why
it
don't
on
we do
YouTube,
that?
yeah,
Put it
put
on
it
Hokma.com.
It is. It's on. It is on Hokman.com.
Okay, so you can see the video. Matt
Yeah.
was playing basketball, and he sent this out to
So silly.
Pastor Rick, and
No,
with the
no.
subject line, "Kiss butt," and sent out to Pastor Rick and said, "If you want to raise money for a peace plan, here's an idea." And then Pastor Rick giggled when he saw it and sent
No,
it
but
out
I didn't
to the
send it
entire
to Rick
church
though.
staff.
I sent it to the pastor's team
Yeah.
because we've all been sitting in these meetings and not many of them know how to laugh very much, and so I thought this would be funny. Let's lighten it a little bit, and I'll send this around to these
And
guys.
somebody forwarded to Rick.
And somebody forwarded or something. I don't. You know.
Yeah, well, it made it
That's
whole
funny.
stamps. Matt without a shirt on. It's worth seeing. Hokma.com.
Beautiful. It's a magical video.
Then visit Much Better Than More Than Dodgeball. This is from Matthew Smithberg. He says, "Podcast, I miss you
Smithberg.
so."
Make up your
This
name.
is our first. This is our.
Oh, you're sweet, Matthew.
This is our first poem.
What'd they say?
Oh, nice.
I don't think we've ever.
84 episodes, first poem.
You know what we should do?
All
We
right.
should have a.
If it's not a limerick or a haiku, I
we
don't
should
want
have
to
a
hear it.
haiku contest.
Did
No, no, limericks are way better than haiku.
Have we
Yeah.
not
Don't
had this
remind me the difference.
conversation?
I don't know.
Like podcast 57
What's the
or
difference?
something?
Look up a
Seriously.
limerick
It
on
does-
Wikipedia and read it.
You don't know the difference?
There,
between-
oh yeah, there once was a man from Nantucket, and then something else rhymes, and then there's two lines. And
What?
then I just can't remember them.
All right,
I
so
used
our
to have a
first
book
poem.
of
Let's
limericks.
be quiet for the first poem. How about that? That'll be new.
I want to hear your story.
Podcast, I miss you so, I long for thee. Late nights watching the stars, I dream of you. When I close my eyes, you are what I see. Beautiful sunsets remind me of you. But alas, you are gone. I look for you, but you are not there. Every time I open my iTunes, I tense up and a bead of sweat begins to roll down my cheek as it checks for your new podcast. Oh, podcast, come back to me. Even Josh can come too. That was from Matthew Smithberg.
Thank you,
man.
Smithberg.
That was beautiful.
This is episode 84, but
frightening.
this is from Sean
Shan.
Kolick.
Bill.
And he says, podcast crew, when...
Sean.
Scene?
What?
What'd you
He
say?
said Sean.
Sean.
I thought you said Shan.
He did.
Oh.
I
He
was throwing
said
my voice
Shan.
over
Oh,
there.
goodness.
Anyhow,
Okay,
here
we got
go.
a limerick up there you're going to read?
Sean Kolick.
Oh.
Hey, podcast
It's
crew.
not-
When episode 81 came out, I decided to finally make the switch to the video podcast, and it was
wow.
great until now. The video for episode 83 looked like a low-budget claymation bit.
That's awesome.
That's what
That's
made
strong.
me want to read this.
Yeah.
Claymation bit is
What was
Josh
that
would
like?
drink his unlabeled vitamin water in dramatic slow-motion fashion. Matt kept giving Andy those quick glances, but the choppy video made them look like gazes of longing. Jana twisted the drawstring on her shirt the whole time, so we didn't miss much. I don't really get that one. And Doug's mouth never moved. This reminded me of a Super Bowl commercial one of my homeschool students made that we never showed because it was that lame.
Our podcast is the equivalent
I like
of a
this
homeschool
guy.
commercial.
Homeschool is cool.
I like this guy. He says, if you want a copy, I'll email it to you. I would like a copy of that.
I want it on
homeschool.
YouTube.
Okay.
I want it on
Email
YouTube.
it to podcast at Simply Youth
Yeah.
Ministry, along with any questions, and Josh will put it up on his blog.
Okay.
More than dodgeball. Anyway, can't wait
Alright.
to listen to the next podcast.
Josh
you
used
guys
to be a homeschooler.
are great. Susanna
Not enough energy to fight
No,
back
I
on
was
that
like,
way.
Susanna
I don't want it.
Brenda,
No.
help me with this, Jana. B-R-E-D, Bread, E-H-O-E-F-T.
I feel like he kind of sped up at the end when it got
Brendan
difficult.
Hoft.
Brendan Hoff?
Brendan Hoft.
No, there's no
German.
N in there.
German. I was going to say the same thing.
Bulgaria.
Gaithersburg, Maryland, Coordinator Youth Ministry, St. John Newman Catholic
Are
Church.
you sure it's not Nuremberg in Germany?
I just wanted to let you know that I'm currently on a 3-hour bus trip with my church. My pastor made the staff attend, and you know how we youth workers love free stuff. There are, however, no teens here. I think they sense the blue hairs lining up for this one. Anyway, thanks for the podcast. It's getting me through. I wish I had uploaded more than 3 to my iPod.
Oh, that's nice.
Doug,
Sent
Jana,
from a
Matt,
BlackBerry.
and Josh. Casey Prince, Raleigh, North Carolina. I'd love for you to share your favorite moment of the summer. Preferably ministry moment, but Matt can answer however he wants. He's going to anyway.
Oh.
I like that.
I would
Actually,
like to share mine.
I was going
Go,
to write a
Dan.
blog post called "My 5 Favorite Moments of Summer." So
Well,
this
she
will
only
be
wants
good.
one.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Go.
No, the weekend that the refinery opened, I walked in and saw a student who used to be in my small group, or in my ABS, 6 years ago, and he always was the one that got kicked out of our ABS, and I saw him, and it was just awesome that he
That's
still
cool.
loves Jesus and goes to church, and
That's cool.
I know, it was great. It was very fun.
Good.
That's
Good.
Cool.
What's your
So
favorite
that was your
ministry
favorite
moment?
moment, but you didn't help anybody.
Well, yeah, I didn't help him so much,
No,
but
I'm
I
just
helped him
kidding.
then.
I just was being mean.
It was still ministry, like
Yeah.
her efforts
Awesome.
Her
earlier.
heart was ministered to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he helped
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Future of the church, how about you?
Twitter. Go.
Well, I don't have a favorite ministry moment because my favorite ministry moment is the moment that we finished working on the stupid budget, which was a 7-week project.
That was the best 2 months you've ever
That
spent.
was the best. And you know what punctuated how horrible? Well,
That you had to hang out with each other after
no,
each
no, no,
meeting?
not it wasn't. No, it wasn't how horrible, but how difficult it was. Is that doing the budget? I had to walk past the room where they were teaching the Bible Institute, and I just looked in there going, "Holy smokes! Why am I working on a budget when
you could be in
I
there.
used to be teaching?" You know. So that was my favorite moment. So
The
I'd like a
future
moment of
grows.
silence.
Yeah, I think
That's-
so. The future of the church just became.
Yeah,
ministry.
Matt, for those who don't know, Matt wrote the Bible Institutes, which
Yeah.
now at Simply Youth Ministry are called Roots.
Rooted.
Rooted. And I
Rooted
saw one being taught
New
the other day.
Testament. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
And,
did.
Yep.
uh,
I don't know if they still teach the same material.
What I kind of love the fact
Do
that
they?
for it's been
Who knows?
16 years,
It's my ministry. Who knows?
and for 15 years of I was in those meetings, those budget meetings and all that stuff, and you didn't know. You were like, hey, you know, what are you always doing?
You were
and now
there
you
for
got
15
you've got
years.
maybe 15 weeks of that. and
Yeah,
you're already
but I,
complaining.
Yeah, you ditched most of those meetings.
I
over
didn't
the
ditch
years.
most of those meetings. Josh, what about you? What's a favorite ministry moment?
My favorite ministry moment, there were quite a few. I would say there are a lot of highlights, but my favorite ministry moment was probably at the end of the summer, which is just a week or two ago. Our summer interns were done, and they put together like a little thank you for the summer, and it was the funnest. It was so
Was
great.
that the video they put together?
Yeah, they did a little video. They gave each of our team like a little award of some sorts and explained how they've been impacted this summer. And it was fun to just
So
pour
instead
into
of the team honoring them, they honored the team?
We did both, but they
Oh.
did a really good
But
job.
it was so funny how well they knew.
They did.
They picked up
All
on some
insider
things.
humor.
Seriously.
So insider. I don't know if anyone else thought it was funny, but it was brilliant. Like I was laughing out loud.
Oh yeah.
But they were trying to show their appreciation for how we poured into
Yeah.
them, and it was
And you
such
did
a great moment.
job with that summer intern crew.
They were brilliant.
You did a great job with them. They loved
you.
meeting with you for breakfast, and you poured into them. We only do summer internships for those who have grown up in our ministry.
Yep.
They're allowed to do summer. Anybody else who wants to do an internship, it's a 2-year internship.
2-year commitment, and we've got some great interns
Yeah,
now too,
and
and we're
we-
always looking for
But
more.
the summer ones
but-
are always really young, so they're always
so
a risk
young.
too.
Yeah.
And they were so green, but they worked so hard, and I just really became great friends with them and poured into them. It was so fun at the end of the year. It was just like this great hug of
Yeah.
we just
No,
ministered
they were great.
75
they
days
served
together.
Well.
They were awesome.
You did a great job with them.
That's my favorite ministry moment.
Hey, if you have anybody that you would recommend to be an
Yes.
intern, Jana, what's the website?
Saddleback.com/internships.
There you go.
Yes.
There it is.
You know, this is going to sound silly. My favorite ministry moment was Sunday night, July 20-something, at 9 o'clock at night.
All right.
After
The sixth service of the second week in a row. I just had a rough July. I was, student leadership conference, which was awesome, and I can't wait to do it again next year. And it was fun to do it in the refinery. It was awesome, but I went from that
Right out of that
to
into the weeds.
preaching
Speaking,
on
yeah.
the Nicene Creed and the Heidelberg Catechism and Confession.
No, the Westminster.
Oh, the Westminster. That's right.
Westminster.
Yeah, wasn't that good?
It is
of a-
in Westminster.
Westminster.
It still had truth in it. You
Yeah.
couldn't talk.
No, it was great. It was great. It was just, but I was so excited. Like that
Yeah.
was the light at the end of the tunnel of a very
Yeah.
very fast-paced season. And then the three of us, Jana wasn't there, but her husband joined us. The three of us went to Red Robin, which is a restaurant nearby, and Kathy was there, and we ate and laughed and told stories and went to a movie. And then the next day, I took Cody and his
That's
buddies
fun.
out.
That's
And then
fun.
vacation, blah blah blah. And so,
Was I there for that?
yeah, you were there
were
for
there.
the
What
video.
movie? What movie?
His
was it?
You
favorite
went with
ministry
Lee.
moment, and you don't remember?
you went with Lee to the movie.
You said the three of us, and when you said Kathy,
Then
I wasn't
Kathy.
su-
I meant the
wasn't
three
sure.
of us.
I
Us
wasn't
three
sure
of
if I was
us. Me,
included.
Josh, and Doug, and then Kathy.
Oh yeah, I can now
Yes.
remember what booth we were in.
I remember. Too.
Oh, I got super pissed for you.
You
Yeah.
did.
Did you
resolve
you
that?
did. It's yes.
No, he did a great job resolving it. It was conflict that Josh was in. Yes, Matt got very defensive for his buddy Josh.
Thank you for
and
that,
Josh
too.
did a great job.
I
from-
I can't handle retards. I'm sorry, I just said that
Yeah.
out
I was
loud.
gonna say,
Let's
let me
edit
cover
that.
your ears, live audience.
I apologize that Matt just said that. And I
Drop
do
it.
not.
Oh gosh.
Here we go, question time.
I said that in one
Matt,
of our
but
budget meetings.
here's-
and Glenn said,
I know.
Did you
I
get
heard
in
the
trouble?
story 6 times.
"Oh, it's a good story though." Yeah,
It's worth repeating.
I actually called. It is. No, I agree. I agreed when he said that because I knew I'd do.
Because
the
you're
same.
going to break out another classic story.
Yeah.
Let's determine.
Okay.
Okay, let's move past that word and past that story. You got to
I'm
change your
past.
vocabulary.
I got to,
You
and
have
I've
to.
been
You
doing
can't-
really good.
You can't be the future of the church and talk like that.
Mm.
This is Mike Hammer. Somebody else you've let down, Matt. This is
Oh.
from Panuxtony,
Add 'em to the list.
Who have I let down? I can't think of one person.
Panuxtony, Pennsylvania. I need to ask something. Does anyone remember that time when I had an agreement with the future of the church concerning a certain jacket in exchange for a certain picture?
Oh.
Is this what the future is going to be like?
I gave
Where-
that jacket to Brazel.
Where the church of the future doesn't
Did you
hold
really?
up its end of the bargain. Hope
But
not.
the thing is he can't even find it now.
Yeah, it's over.
It's gone.
He sold it. It's out of season. He
No,
bought
it's
another
not
one.
sold. He's never sold anything in his life. It's like
Goodwill.
Those listening
Salvation
that
Army.
don't remember, it was Matt was complaining about some
I went to Seattle without a jacket, which is so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the middle of winter.
Yeah.
You know what has just triggered something so bizarre? Our Helping Hurting Youth Worker Fund, which I said the Fields family was matching up to $1,500,
Yeah.
which we did. I got a check from somebody who listened, said they didn't want, and it's David Morris, the guy that
He didn't want
auditioned to
recognition.
be
To be on the show.
co-host.
Yeah.
He said, I didn't bid on anything, I just wanted to help, and I put it in my sun visor,
Oh, goodness.
and it's still there. I just remembered it this second. That was like 2 months ago.
Oh boy.
So-
For helping
Mike,
youth worker.
Mike also, Mike Hammer wrote, thanks for bringing the PDYM conference back.
Woo!
Oh, cool. That's exciting.
Yes.
He says, now I'm torn on which conference to attend. Well, here's the deal.
PDYM.
You get PDYM,
Bing,
we're going to limit it to about 600 people.
Yeah.
We're going to just do it in our refinery. We're just going to go back to PDYM,
Well,
old school that we love the most.
It'll
And
be
then we're
cool.
saying to people, if you want a church experience, go to that. If you want a national conference, go to the National Youth Ministry Conference. And that is February 27th through March 2nd. And the PDYM conference is
March 24th.
March 24th through the 27th.
So you're not going to be doing the same general sessions?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope, not at all. Not at all.
It's so fun to have PDYM
we're not
back.
doing the same PDYM
I'm
general sessions.
not, I know you're not. You
Oh.
wouldn't.
You mean at the conference or from other
Of course
PDYM
you guys
conferences?
wouldn't. Come on.
This is going to be great.
I
PDYM
didn't
is
mean
back.
that
All right. This is from
PDYM.
Chris Harkins. Says, hey Josh,
Oh,
I have
man.
some shirts for you, but you never gave me the address to send them to.
1 Saddleback Parkway, Lake Forest, California.
Shouldn't they send them to
92630.
Simply Youth Ministry?
Yeah, send them here. Send them
He doesn't
to
know the address.
21675 Vista Terrace.
Vista
I don't
Terrace.
see it anywhere. Lake
On the
Forest,
website.
California. 21675.
I will send them. Oh, it says I will send them
I
Saddleback
have no
Church.
idea.
Attention, Josh
Oh,
Griffin.
perfect.
The leadership conference was awesome. Doug, you were in focus as usual.
In focus.
I'm not exactly sure what in focus means, but thank you.
Focus.
Josh, awesome. Everyone did a fantastic
Wasn't in
job.
focus,
What a
but awesome.
blessing that you would do these things for the students. We got a lot out of them. We will see you next year. Make sure let everyone know when the dates are available. We already have the dates.
Yeah,
next
we
year,
passed out a card.
right? Yeah, don't get mad at him, Matt.
Matt is it?
I had a great
Jana
Matt
said
line.
that.
I had a great Matt line the other day.
Jane?
I sent something to Jana and Jim Dobbs, our graphics person. I said, I need your guys. You guys are the most critical eyes I know. And then Jana wrote back and said, what about Matt? And I said, oh, Matt's just critical on everything. It's more than just his eyes.
It's the different critical. There's 2 different types.
Yeah.
The
There's
wise
Matt and there's
the
everybody
wise
else.
critical.
The truth telling.
All right, Doug, Josh, Matt, and Jana. What a great show 83 was.
Jenna!
Jane.
People on Saddleback staff now send me emails, Jane.
No way.
Yes.
I love it.
It was. This is what I love. It was less
You're kinda
like
like
a
Jane Wallace.
podcast
Mhm.
and more like the 5 of us hit a Chinese buffet for lunch, and I just listen to you guys laugh and rip on each other, share what's been going on, tell jokes. The others were good, blah blah blah. Doug and Matt and Josh, anyone, but something was missing. Episode 83 is a great show. Looking for the next one. That was Jim.
Wow, he
Jim
lost
Clark.
lost me at Chinese buffet. I heard nothing
What
else
was
that he said.
missing?
Yeah.
Wontons.
Who proofread that email?
I don't know. Sorry.
Oh.
Hello, award-winning podcast.
Have we won any awards
gotta get
lately?
an
Sorry,
award.
Chris. Was that
We
too
We
have-
loud?
need to be nominated for something.
We have to get an award.
Maybe
Google
Wait,
Youth
surely
Ministry
it's gonna,
Podcast Awards.
It's gonna come out again soon, right? It's been
You
almost,
surely
it
will be.
feels like a year.
Yeah, we're not going to win it again. though.
We could be back to back.
No, there's not a chance.
Collide Magazine Award
Because
winners.
now that people have, like, this isn't a legit podcast.
No, it's
No,
but
it's
it's
totally
still going,
legit.
which is a
It's
big
just not
deal.
going to win any awards.
What about we could
I'm sure Michael W. Smith is doing one, and he's will win.
he is obviously award
He gives
winning.
podcasts to his podcast listeners.
Yeah.
iPodcast.
So
Yes.
that means that Doug was a podcast listener to get a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Sam Halverson, which you
Hi,
guys
Sam.
might remember. Matt and Josh. I'm the guy with the white 15-passenger van in Cincinnati who drove some of you after inviting himself
Yeah.
to a late-night run to the Skyline Chili.
Skyline
I don't think he
Chili.
invited himself.
No, I'm sure we invited him, being the nice guys that we are.
No, he's a nice guy. I remember.
He says,
Yeah.
we're looking forward to next year's conference in Columbus.
Yes.
So I've got a
Columbus. Where is that?
proposition.
Oh goodness!
Ohio.
But
Columbus, Ohio.
right, I knew it was in the state of Ohio, but
Very
is
southern part.
That's a metropolis where people are going to come to?
It
Oh,
probably
yeah.
means it's where the
Just like
cheapest conference
Cincinnati.
site was.
Cheapest conference site, and you can drive to it, like 60% of the
They have
a lot of
drive.
people that
yeah.
drive to
I'm
Yeah,
sure they
he
got
said
GPS all over
we'll
it.
be at the conference, and they would like to become your personal drivers.
Oh,
So
wow.
if you guys need anything,
If we can
Oh.
find delicious food,
Yeah.
then
Do they
you
have
can
Skyline
You
drive
guys
us.
Chili?
actually do need a driver because last time you got in a car accident. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
well,
true.
technically Jake did.
Seriously.
Well,
but it
I
was
don't
a
like to
reminder.
Your
drive.
navigating was
Sam
terrible.
Halverson, and looking at his bio, he's the author of Destination Unknown and Destination Unknown 2.
Oh, the sequel.
Yeah, you might want to
So
check
the
that out.
first one should have been Destination.
We used to do a youth activity called Destination Unknown. It was really fun. We would just go to a unknown
Unknown
destination. Really was cutting edge.
All right. My name is Rob Hartman from Santa Maria, California. I'm
Rob.
pastoring in Regina, Saskatchewan.
We've had plenty of things from them before. We had the song.
Yeah.
Wait, I
Somebody
don't
from
get
there
it. He's
sent us a
from
song.
Here, but
Yeah, that was. He said
Lives
he's from
up
Santa
there.
Maria.
What was
He
the
was
song again?
identifying Southern
Okay.
California. Yes. I'm having a hard time getting our students to attend class 101 through 401. I'm wondering what kind of strategies or ideas you guys use to create a culture where these classes are seen as important and students attend them. In our PDYM strategy, I've identified where students are at their spiritual journey and challenging to take the next step. These classes are important. Any suggestions?
well, can we just admit that we also have a tough time? getting-
Yeah, absolutely. We don't
It's
get great
tough.
attendance either. But Matt, why don't you give the orientation to the purposes rather than give that little speech, since you do my bits so well.
As commitment increases.
No,
The
just
attendance
the idea that the
decreases.
classes. What are the classes? The classes are a. Here's what Matt wants to say. The classes.
Wow, man, this is
Shoot,
a softball
trying,
right here.
trying.
No,
Classes
I- I
The
don't know
classes
what-
are an orientation to the purposes. Just because they attend the class doesn't mean that they have embraced that purpose. So the
Right,
thing
right,
about
right,
the
right,
classes, our adults, they make them a big deal because you join the church when you do, and they're 4 hours long. For us in student ministries, it's an exposure to the purposes. We want the kids to go to them, Rob, because when they go, they're going to learn about the purposes and learn about the strategy and what we're trying to do and understand tithing and different things like that. But we know it's just one class, check it off, class 101, went to it, 201, check it off, went to it. Because really when you're around the bases, what have you done? You've gone to 4 classes, you've got a lot of information, you've made some
Yeah.
spiritual commitments, but it's really an orientation to the purposes that really what you want to do is you want to be emphasizing the purposes all the time.
Right.
And the classes themselves is actually just discipleship. I mean, the purpose of discipleship, narrowly focused as we're talking, narrow definition of discipleship. But I think to get people there, I mean, you can do the wild and crazy, pizza and cajole and video and do whatever you can to make people show up. And that's probably not a bad idea. I mean, if you're trying to make a circus just so you can get someone to go to a class, you may be going too far. But the idea is, though, too, when you were talking about that, and where my mind went to is that everybody's not going to go and sit and listen to a class, and that's okay. I mean, I think that to get people there, it is good to show the benefit, not just to say, hey, this is great, but to actually show the benefit of why, that there's just some things you got to know and there's just some things you got to learn, and the best way to learn them is to sit and to listen and talk about it afterwards and yada yada. But I mean, I think that you could demonstrate how important it is rather than just saying, hey, these are really important.
And they also don't have to be large classes either. That's the
No,
thing.
the better ones are like.
At Corona campus 2 weeks ago, before the
Let me help you. It's
that's
making
mine.
a ton of noise. I can hear it in my monitors.
It is hearing aids.
But Brian Schwambeck, this is really cool. Is that no?
Oh,
I gotta do
goodness.
something, or I'll break your finger. He was teaching class 101, the junior high version, Route 101 to two kids.
Yep.
And he sat down and was walking them through them, and he wasn't
That's
teaching
cool.
it like a lecture to, to 20 kids in a room or anything like that. But it was really cool. I mean, it was neat to see.
Well, and we've
But-
also done the things where, I taught Class 101 for a long time by myself every month, and then got a volunteer to teach it. And then I didn't teach 101 anymore. I went and taught 201, got volunteers teaching, and got other people to teach. So, think small, think other people teaching it. When people say they want to teach, give it to them and let them become the motivator of how to get people there.
Well, and some of the things we've done is we taught them once a month. We called it Super Sunday for a long time, and people, would come.
Because
so
we tagged it on to something,
It was
too.
consistent, too.
It wasn't another night out of the week.
Yeah. We also encouraged people to go as a small group. We said, come together, make it fun.
Oh, there was that one lady that went to Class 101 like 4 times.
With her small group.
With her small
different
groups.
small groups.
Who was that? I could see her
Me too.
hair, curly brown hair.
Well, for those
but
that
then
don't... Go ahead.
Well, the other thing is we also made them part of our Chi Alpha for a
Right,
while,
that's what I
so
was
that
gonna say.
so that students,
Which was a
which
retreat,
was
a weekend
discipleship
retreat.
We go on
yeah.
a weekend discipleship
Disciple
retreat,
now.
and the material that we would be using is Class 101
Yeah.
through 4.
Yeah.
So we've done. I mean, we've
Now you
had
guys
to
go
be
skiing,
strategic.
right?
No, we still do classes. I would say, too, you should expect a larger attendance on 101 because that's the easiest, low barriers, low commitment. So 101 will be bigger, 201 will be less, 301 and 401 they will get decreasingly small. One of the things we did back in Michigan was we actually made like 101 a requirement to go on a missions trip.
That's
So if
great.
you're going to go on a
about
missions trip,
401,
you
we
just-
used to do that.
yeah, same thing. I think ideally, boy, all the classes would be fantastic. But we would set some requirements up and make class one of the requirements to go, and students took it without a problem.
Yeah.
Well, for those of you that don't know, the classes are part of the DNA of Saddleback. 101 is our membership class. Class 201 is our maturity class where we teach spiritual disciplines. Class 301 is our ministry class where we try to get people launched into ministry. Class 401 is our life mission class.
Evangelism.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I think you could ask questions. I think you could ask people questions that those classes answer, and say, hey, so what do we believe? What are the most important things we believe? Or what are what is our church all about? Or what does it take to grow in your faith? I mean, I think part of it is in your sermons or messages or writing of bulletins and emails or whatever communication. I mean, I think you could ask questions that are addressed. But I mean, I think there's lots of little things.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to cut up that material though, and you could make a weekend series out of the classes.
Yep.
You could make it into a Sunday school or small group material.
Do we still offer it? At
We do.
Saddleback?
Yeah. So it's interesting. You could take it, edit, and copy and paste it however you like.
This is from Joseph Robinson. Just finished reading Speaking to Teenagers. As someone who is in full-time ministry but did not go to a Bible college or take a homiletics class, it was exactly what I needed. I've struggled with message prep for the last 2 years. I've been using the STICK, S-T-I-C-K, for a couple of weeks now. My students are already noticing the difference. Thanks to you and Duffy for a great resource for us non-Bible college folks. The reason I put this in here, I need help from our community. Is
To get that website up?
No.
SpeakingToTeenagers.com.
Yeah.
Is Andy on right now? Because he'll
It's Andy's
enjoy
fault.
that one.
Andy's been dragging his feet on that. I need to, I was telling Duffy about this because Duffy's the, professor of youth ministry at Eastern. I just feel like this is a book that needs to be in Christian colleges. It needs to be taught in youth ministry. When I hear people teach and speak, I go, gosh, they could use a little help and a little coaching. So if you got any ideas on how to get that into
It's cool that you say that, but I think that's kind of up to the professors.
Yeah, that they need help, that youth workers need
The
help.
professors get to decide what books.
Yeah, that's true.
Did
Well,
we
maybe they don't know
say-
about this book, Matt.
Did we
Maybe
say
that's
why Andy isn't here? Did we already say
Andy
that?
just had a baby.
Landon.
Julie just had a
Unto
baby.
us a Brazel is born.
Yep.
That was a good one.
Twitter.
That was strong.
Thank
Um,
What's your Twitter username? Since you seem to know all of our Twitters all the time.
Not telling you.
So here's the deal. I text Andy when the day after the baby's born. And I say, well, Monday, day off. I was saying, hey, what hospital are you in? Because Kathy and I are going to go there.
Oh, here
He
come the
goes,
excuses.
we're at Saddleback and we're going to be leaving in a few hours. This was 11:07. We're going to be leaving in a few hours. Kathy and I race down to Saddleback. We get there like at 11:45. They've already checked out.
So it literally was a few minutes.
As I'm walking into the hospital, I get Andy's Twitter that says, arriving home for the first
Oh, wow. By a few hours, he meant in a half an hour
he
we would
meant
be home.
a few minutes. This is from Mike Kelly in Port Charlotte, Florida. It says, I read your article about programs of prayer. It really gave me some good thoughts on what we need to do to simplify ministry through prayer. I've been in my current church just 9 months, and I'm in the middle of the summer, not interested in planning events, but really want to just pray about where the ministry's headed. I'm in this for the long haul and don't want to be an entertainment-driven ministry. How would you guys help with the key leaders to not be so driven to have more activities? and for them to realize the importance of discipleship and mentoring. Thanks for all you do. I've been a part but not active of PDYM since the first conference back in '98, and even came to your house that first year.
For desserts.
Wow.
Yeah, which we're going to do again at PDYM. We're going back to our original conference. '98 has been 10 years since we've had it. Good night. Took 1 year off, and it feels like 4 years. So how would you help leaders not be so driven to have activities?
Tell them activities are stupid.
I'm happy to answer. I was just
No,
going to.
I think
Jana,
that
go
if
for it.
if the leader wants to do activities on their own, let them do activities on their own.
With their small group.
Yeah,
or
yeah. Let leaders
Right.
spend all their energy doing that. Obviously, hopefully, they're having deep conversations and asking tough questions in the midst of that. But as long as they're not pushing for you to put it onto your calendar,
To big events
make
for
it-
everyone
yeah.
to go to. Yeah.
Pick up the fall calendar of the YMCA and just piggyback on all their events.
Well, you help key leaders. Your key leaders, Mike, and others who are in situations like that. They're driven to have activities because that's what they've known. That's what they've known. That's what they're used to. That's what they're comfortable with. And so you've got to change that. And one of the ways you change that is, to begin systematically destructing some of those events. And you're just not going to do as many this year as you did last year. And talk about the importance of why we need relationships. And boy, we do value fun and activities. We want to encourage that in the context of your small groups.
Right.
And if we do an activity, it's not going to be just to entertain Christians. It's going to be to be evangelistic. And it's how quickly you can turn your back on teaching and educating, how people go back to the old way. This weekend this coming weekend we're doing the kill ball tournament after high school group.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to have 9 kids on a team. And this kid comes up to me and goes, "Hey, if I can't find 9 people, can I bring some friends that don't go to this church?"
Oh, wow.
I'm like, man, yeah.
I guess.
Duh.
I guess you can.
That's why we're doing it. But because we were more clear about
the name of it.
We were more clear about putting a blog on it. We're more clear about all the things as opposed
Instead of
to
saying
Twitter
bring
account.
a friend and join your team. Yeah.
Yeah. And it happened when Josh was away.
I was going to say, I leave for 1 week. No, okay. That would have happened with me there, so it's no big deal.
Part of it is you can show the big picture. You can show your leaders the big picture of everything you're doing. You could paint it out in a simple picture to say, hey, we do the weekend, and we do this, and we do that, and we do that, and here's what we're trying to accomplish, and this is what we want to do well. If we keep doing a bunch of events, and I'm assuming that there's too many events, based on your email, then you can say when we do too many events, it pulls away from these other things that we're trying to do. I think that's another way to bring them on board.
Absolutely.
Is to show them the big picture of
You
what you're doing.
dilute too much, and then nothing tastes good.
Make sure those people are plugged into helping pull off your big events, though.
Absolutely, and we would
Use their
definitely
passion and their energy towards.
We would even
those.
say those supplemental events are okay and would support our Friendship Evangelism program as well. So we're not anti-events, but we just try to be a little more
Matt
realistic.
is.
Matt's a little bit, but that's
That's
the future.
Unless
antisocial.
it's reading in the dark.
This is Danny, and he's a student ministry interns at Mount Calvary Church in Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania, which is 20 minutes from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which is 40 minutes from Intercourse, Pennsylvania, which is 50 minutes from Blue Ball, Pennsylvania. Just to give you an idea.
where he lives.
All right, so very Amish. Anyway, love
Yeah.
the show. My youth pastor and I do
That's
have a
Pennsylvania.
question. We were wondering how you would handle a situation where a student's family leaves your church because they don't agree with the philosophy of ministry, but their kids still want to attend your student ministry and would like to be involved in a leadership role. Would you still allow them to be involved in a leadership role even though they left the church because they didn't agree with your philosophy of ministry?
Yes.
Thanks
Unless
for...
the parents don't want them at your church, then don't.
Tell them to honor their
make
father
sure
and
it's
mother.
okay. Their parents.
Yeah, but you answered this question so quick, John McCain, that, what I would say
You need to have
is...
some nuance and some.
But
My
shading.
friends.
What I would say to Danny and the youth pastor, these aren't easy situations.
Right.
We can quickly go, yes, let the kid be involved, because we don't know the dynamics of the family
super
that's going on. We
complicated.
don't know the tension. We don't know the bitterness that's created. We don't know the background story. I think ultimately, if the kid is not going to be a distraction, the parents aren't going to be a continual pain. If you can get past some of the hurt that probably happened when those parents said, we don't agree with what you're doing, then yeah, you let the kid be involved. You just said it a lot quicker, but I just wanted to...
Same answer.
I'm a lot more mentally adroit than you are.
That's true.
Oh, adroit. Well said.
So I would
Bad
say...
grammar.
Anybody disagree with that? You guys
No,
wanna
I
push
think
back?
it's super.
I like the honor your mother and father, though. The comment of like.
The 10 Commandments are always a favorite.
This is from Casey Prince. Let's end with this one.
Hey, Casey.
Casey
Two
writes.
Princess.
Well, she has
Princess?
a few episodes ago when you're talking about, it was episode 80. Someone asked a question about what to spend on students for graduation presents. I've never once connected myself to Matt in any way, but it finally happened when you said that Matt would say that his presence at the graduation party was their present. I totally feel the same way, so being connected to Matt really got me a little embarrassed about my attitude. I did love the idea.
Blessing.
That embarrassment's called guilt.
I did love
Guilt
the
that
idea,
you never
though,
were
of
that
writing
way
notes.
before.
And then she goes on to talk about going to a bunch of graduation parties, blah, blah, blah. He goes, the only then I underlined this because I thought it's an interesting comment. We've heard this a lot, and I have a little angle on this. The only creepy thing is that in listening to you guys talk so often, we feel like we're one of your good friends when you actually have no idea who we are.
Yeah, that's
I know who
creepy.
you
Send
are.
us a free shirt.
You're right,
We'll
that's
be even
creepy.
better friends.
No, I think the idea about no idea who you are, to me, I go, no, we know exactly. We know exactly who they are. We know exactly how lonely youth ministry is when you're not doing it in community. We know exactly how difficult it is. We know exactly what it's like to feel like you don't have time to do everything you want to do. We know exactly what it's like to have conflict. We know exactly what it's like not to be believed in, not to be affirmed. We know exactly what it's like. We just happen to have the privilege to do youth ministry in the context of these relationships.
Right.
So I realize that's a bigger issue, but a lot of times people go, we listen in like we're a fifth staff person or something like that. And great. I mean, that's one of the reasons we keep doing this is because we do feel like we know who you are, and if we can help along the way, what a treat it is.
Then welcome to the table.
That's right. And if you want to send anything, questions, comments, gestures, rude remarks, to
Matt McGill.
Podcast at
the future of the church.hokma.com.
We'll get a few on
Podcast
that,
at
I
Simply
think.
Youth Ministry.
Yes.
I
Podcast
was
Simply
thinking
Youth
the rude
Ministry.
remarks could go
Are we
today.
back together next week, even though Jana isn't
I
here?
am.
I am. I'm in.
Let's go.
I'm in.
Great.
School's back. School starts next week.
That's on
I have
Thursday.
to check the
Well,
future.
We'll do the show on
Huh?
Half
Thursday.
day on Thursday.
I have to
Why don't you
check the
check the
future.
Is it a half
future, and if
day?
you can join Josh and I, we'd love
Sure.
to have you.
Okay.
How about that?
That'd be
Should
great.
we Skype
But you're
Jane,
private school.
How
Jane
did-
in
No,
from Australia?
no,
How did your
time
deal
difference,
go?
No.
Who do people want?
Jake.
They want Jake.
What
Okay.
was the percentage? Was anybody close?
Jake.
Yeah. Jake had.
Don't make it up.
No, I'm not. Jake had 4 votes. Kurt had 6, and Kathy had 5.
Oh, it was a close
Oh.
one vote.
Okay.
Seven,
different.
6,
How many
5?
did Natalie get?
Jake.
Natalie.
Jake
was
had one
Natalie.
more than Kurt,
Natalie.
and Kurt had one more than Kathy.
Yep.
All right, Jake's in.
Okay, Jake next week.
We
so
won't
let's
tell
text
Kurt
him.
that.
Yeah.
Kathy will be totally fine with it.
Seriously.
And if you want to send any marriage and family questions, Kathy and I
Send
will
them in
probably
too.
follow one up after we do our podcast
Super.
at Podcast Simply Youth Ministry. And I actually got them printed out a day before.
Impressive. I don't know who did that, but
One of these
Back
days,
from vacation.
Back
one
from
of these
vacation
days,
is
Whole
somebody will
duly
teach
turned
me.
over.
Somebody will teach me to
To use your printer?
no to
Very
get these
complicated.
emails. Get these emails. I'm going to Twitter about the show in just a second.
I don't know why they just don't forward to his account and
I
go
can
to
do
a
that.
special folder on his computer.
All right, let's. That would be a great
There we
idea.
go again.
Everybody loves everybody.
Yeah, I love
Did
everybody.
Andy ever pop back in?
Nope, we never did.
No, we'll see.
Unbelievable.
All right, Chris, up on iTunes by Friday night. Nadine,
Oh.
nicely done. Matt, welcome back.
I'm
Jana, have a great
sleepy.
trip. Josh, trees us.
Let's go. Gotta go work on a talk
All right.
for this weekend.
Bless you. Bye.
Do you have anything for the live?
It's got just enough youth ministry so that you don't feel guilty listening.